Right, welcome back. Today I am taking it back to basics. I've been accused of maybe going a little bit too deep and a bit too advanced. So if you're looking to improve your woodworking skills, or you have no woodworking skills, then this is definitely a video for you. Today I'm going to show you and we're going to learn how to cut a piece of wood. That's pretty basic. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you the things that you're going to need. So let me just take the camera down and I'll go through it with you all. As you can see, I've set them all out here. You're going to need a bit of wood, whether it's planed all round like this, whether it's a bit of sawn. You're going to need some marking out implements, like your square, because we're going to cut it square, 90 degrees, perpendicular, cut something to length. You need a tape measure, because you may want to cut it to a certain length as well. Sharp pencil, absolutely imperative, and then a saw. Which saw to choose? So for me, today I'm going to use the tenon saw, but usually on site, the only saw you're ever going to have is either this or an electric saw. And because of what you're doing on site, then really this is good enough. It's going to give you a little bit of a rougher edge to it, but you'll be able to make it good, whereas a tenon saw gives you as much accuracy as you possibly can. Okay, right, bear with me and I will be right back. Right, welcome back. So my steady base, or what I'm going to use as a steady base, is the bench hook. So what we end up doing is we end up pushing the piece of timber in there, we end up trapping it, and that enables us to pick up our saw, keep the pressure, and stop the piece of timber moving as we're cutting it, which is half of the battle, because if you can stop it, then you can cut the straight line and it doesn't sort of go everywhere, it doesn't jam up, because if it's moving about, it'll start to jam. So you can put it in a vise. Hold on. You can put it direct in the vise if you wanted to, like so. I could cut it like that. I could get a chair, bear with me, hold on. Depending on what you got, get a chair and I could put it on the chair, put my knee over it, and then I could cut away like that. And that's generally sort of how you would do it on site, because you'd have it like a sawhorse or something. But today, bench. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is we want to mark it up, and I'm going to cut. The cut I want to cut is I want to cut it square. So get your combination square like this. Square. Could cut miters 45 going around architrave if that's what you wanted to do. Then mark off what you want to cut off. I'm just going to cut a nominal amount off. So get that. Get pencil, mark the edges. For this video I am going to mark all the way around, but normally I would only mark 2 edges, because if I'm marking 2 edges, then what I can do is I can see that edge. Hold on, I can see that edge. And I can see that edge, and I just guide it through, and I'm fairly confident that my saw will keep me square. But for more accuracy, mark all the way around, which I'm going to do. And be mindful of whether you're using your face side and face edge. And if you are, then you should have successful marking. I have done a video on marking out because I think it's very important. Okay, so now we have a line all the way around, and that's where we want to cut. Now I will cut on the waist side of the line, but my saw will be just touching the pencil line, and that is how I will ensure that I get things to the right length. If I cut the line out, I'm going to be sure by a mill or something like that, and it will leave a gap, so I don't want to do that. So let's get the saw, hold the saw, hold it with the handle, that way it's not so good. So as I say, with the handle, I put my finger down there, and that's just for the accuracy. When I'm using the rip saw, and I'm just firing it through, then I won't bother, but on this I will. So get a timber, start it, put your little finger against the edge of the saw, and then just ever so lightly just run the saw back and forwards until you can feel it start to take. And then when you do that, take your finger away, blow the sawdust away, and then you're starting at the far edge, working towards the near edge to you, and eventually you'll get all the way across. And what you can see is you go all the way across, you've made the first line, and then you can just cut it, go, and then follow the line on the front edge there, and just keep going parallel. Perfect, just keep on following the line. If you have a look on the other side, you should see you're following the line, it's not far away. And this is the advantage of always being on the one side of the line or the other. Because then you can plane it and get it absolutely down to what you want. So here we go. And they have moderately clean, and then what you can do is you can just get your planer and you can just finish that edge off or finish this edge off. But generally what you'll have is the face side is the top side, and your saw will cut through the face side rather than leaving a jagged edge, and that's the back side, the bit that's usually hidden on, say if it's an architrave, it'd be against the wall, so you would never see that, so you don't even need to finish that off. Right, that is pretty much as simple and as easy as it gets. So ultimately, if you're looking to cut a bit of timber, then that's it. Just get a saw, strike a line, and cut through it, starting at the back, working towards you, and then eventually just level and just easily. Don't put too much pressure on it. There's no need. Right. If you want any more, if you want any other topics that you want to learn about, just give me a shout. Right, thanks very much, and I'll see you later. Bye.